Good afternoon, whatever part of the world you are. Good morning, good day, whatever. Right now we are at an exclusive place right now. We got an exclusive interview. This interview been long awaiting. Like I would say 2 years or 3 years, one of them. But he's always busy because he's always innovating, fixing, working. And you're going to get to see who I'm talking about. His name is Wasi. And he got a lot of product in the audio industry. Also do repairs. But we're going to talk about some invention that he have and some custom stuff that he have. And he's have his own amplifiers. And we're going to talk to the man himself. And we got something here special today. Only today. You're going to see this on this channel for the first time. So here we go, people. Today, Saturday, for us right now, we are here at the location. This man is responsible for repairing a lot of amplifier. Now we went into building making amplifiers, making other stuff, still doing other tweaking with other stuff that he yet to reveal to us. But you know, I said we get the exclusive things. So today we're here with Wasi himself. So Wasi,
Wagwan!
welcome to the sound system world.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah, right? I got the shirt on. I got the fit on. You know what I'm saying?
Sound system
Make
owner.
sure I don't go buy on a shirt. Like I said, when I first met Acid and the family,
Yes, sir.
I gave them a big promo. I said, good quality, very good, well-made product or whatever. So definitely support it, man.
Yeah, man. Not cheap
Big up
shirt.
to the the Acid family for being here as well.
Okay.
Noah over there sit on. Got Nadia on the camera. You know what I'm saying? You got Maurice right here doing the MCing. You know what I mean? So
All
we
right,
just
so-
want to make it like a dance.
So there you go, people. That's Wasi for you, and he's always this way. Never
Yeah.
not changing from I
Yeah.
know him. So Wasi, congratulations, man.
Thank you, bro.
I like the way how you're doing your stuff.
Right.
Moving the products. I know the products is moving.
Yeah.
So I know you're doing to a certain degree, right?
Yeah, man. So
But-
let me turn down my phone.
turn off the
because-
phone.
No, I just made me realize that my phone is up.
Yes.
And while y'all doing that,
Yes.
someone had said, and I'm gonna repeat it. They
Yes.
said, "Oh, Wasi is a Yachty Jamaican." They never know. They never see the face behind.
okay, yeah,
Now let's hear the voice.
yeah.
But never
And
see you.
sometimes I kind of keep it proper, and
Yes.
I do my I talk in my
Business.
business voice. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
but I've been here for I've been in the U.S. for many years, man, since I was like 4 years old. So
Okay.
I go flip it back and forth. You know what I mean?
So you've been a fan of sound system long time.
Yeah, man. From
Long time.
I'll
See,
tell
you
like this.
you have a sound system, still do.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
used to DJ.
Yeah, I still DJ, man. I DJ last night.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So I'm well,
Diverse.
it's like I'm embedded in the actual culture. I don't
Yeah.
just, like how you may have an engineer that
Yes.
work for QSC and him doing design and him selling product, right?
Yes.
That's not what I do. I actually go out there and
In the field.
I use it, right?
Okay.
And I see the actual shortcomings in the field and some of the things where I call it like a hole in the game. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So if I see a hole in the game, I try to get it sewn up.
Okay.
So I'll come back, get in the lab and try to figure out a way to fix or come up with a solution
Yeah.
for whatever I see
Which-
as the problem.
With some of the item that he has today is been, you could tell he's been in the game and he sees certain things that the sound system world wanted.
Correct.
But we just have the option of just walking into a store and just buy something. When I have the option to say, so we need that kind of technical for the
Right,
sound world.
right.
So that's why you are doing now.
Yeah.
So people, we're gonna show you something that in the field, anybody who knows about sound system or own a sound system, if you have couple amplifier well, you will understand what I'm about to show you. These are one of the product we're gonna talk about today. So, oftenly when you go into I would say a crossover or a drive rack, right?
Right.
For your bass.
And your processing, yeah.
Sometimes your outputs are limited.
Correct.
So we will have to build a plug like this
Yeah.
and build 4 out to go to
Right.
4 bass amplifier.
Yeah, because typically you have right and left out or a mono sub out.
So I will call this let's say this is a mono sub out.
Correct, right.
So I need 4 more channel for the 2 bass amp.
Right,
so we will
right.
go and build something like this.
Correct. And that's something that I made years ago for Carnival
Yes.
because what I made now
Yeah.
didn't exist.
Okay.
Right.
So now he has invented, which you're gonna see. So oftenly, me as a sound person, I will do something like this. In my rock, there is something like this right now speaking.
Right.
But this man has come up with an invention that you could have it. I will give you the honor for sure.
Yeah.
The audience. And
Yeah, so
explain.
basically,
Yes.
it's not brand new or technology it doesn't exist, but the application is new, right?
Yes.
because this is specifically designed for the amplification industry where you only have a limited amount of ins and outs, or some amplifiers, they don't even allow you to go in and out.
In and out, yes.
So you have to build a Y cable or a quad cable or whatever you may need, or call a guy to do a custom cable for you. So basically the way this works is pretty straightforward. You get 2 inputs, right?
And how many outs you get?
You have 5 outputs for each input.
Yes.
So you can
go just 2 in,
right?
You get 5 out.
Right, 5 on, so 1 in here, you get 5 out on this side, 1 in here, 5 out on that side. So you could actually do 2 different frequencies. So if you wanted to have this as bass, you have 5 bass output, and then if you want this as mid bass, you could have 5 mid bass output.
Yes.
Now, say there's a scenario where you have a rack and it's loaded with many channels of amps.
Yes.
You don't want to separate it. You just want all bass.
Yes.
You could put your signal into channel A, and then you put this on mono, right? You flip the switch to mono.
Yes.
And now every single output channel is playing that bass signal.
So
you could feed all your amps now without having to do a lot of Y cables or, quad cables.
Yes.
The other beautiful thing about it is, say you have an amplifier rack and you have 3 different brands of amplifiers, right?
Correct.
They're all playing bass, but you have a power soft, you have a Admark, and you have a CVR.
Yes.
No matter how you try to adjust the gain, they never play exactly the same. Correct. If you put them all on 32 dB, they still sound different.
Yeah, one is going to be 1 dB up.
Right. It's not going to be 100% correct. So with this, even though you have 1 bass signal going in and you have 10 bass signals coming out, each signal output can be independently adjusted. Individually.
Wow.
Yeah, so you could control, you could set your rack and match it.
Okay, so you didn't just create a patch panel and just leave it at there.
No.
You went further.
Right, there's electronics in here. There's surface mount.
And I see you have a transformer.
Correct.
You have caps in here.
Right, and you can see the logo on the board here.
Wow.
That, you can see it's
nice.
It's a board I designed and manufactured. So this is something, and then also there's a small little piece, of information.
Yes.
The knobs are all detented, right? Detented is just a fancy name to let you know that they have the little click. Yeah.
The rigid in it.
Right.
So as soon as you turn it, you feel it go click.
Yep, you feel a little click.
So you can even say, all right, I want to put 2 amplifiers at 4 click.
So you go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
And stop.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? So the detented knobs just make it a little nicer. We have this in black, and we also have it in silver.
This is the silver one right here.
Right.
Yes.
And as it is with a lot of the products that we have, they're fully assembled in the USA. Because, it's one of those things, I'll talk in Jamaican right now, but when you make a man make a thing 100%, I'm going to sell it through the back door.
Everybody copy it.
Translation. When you have an individual or a company manufacture your product 100%, they'll sell it through the back door. You know what I mean?
And a lot of that is going on.
Right. Yes. So that's where we are with that particular product.
So now we're going into detail of which Wasi came up with. I want to pay attention, even the keys on the unit, like he said, with the rigid. Some people just make it and does it go up, down, but I can feel it. Right. I like the quality.
Right.
I like the rigid. You turn it, you feel it. I like that. Right. But you go another step further. What is amplifiers and equipment, you go detail with the, I'll let you do the honors with this one, because I'm your guest, so I'll let you.
Okay. So this right here is just something that I thought of, it's monogram rack screws.
Rack screws.
They come in black and silver, right?
Yes.
So basically what it is, you could take these out, and when you have an amplifier, right?
Or a piece of equipment,
you basically could screw it in with these, and then at the end of the day, you see how pretty that looks?
Yes, that's the logo on it.
Gorgeous.
Nice.
You see me, I said.
I like the touches. I like the touches.
So, now you have something that it complements the actual product, and it just makes your rack look different than everybody else's.
All right.
The other thing that I did too, I didn't skimp on the actual metal. This is aircraft aluminum. It's very light.
Yes.
But it's extremely strong.
And it rust.
Right, never rust.
Wow.
Not only that, it's not short. So some of the amps that have like a thicker front, like if you have a Crown Macrotech 5000 where it has that thick front
angle,
it'll still be able to get all the way to the back. Right. So that's what these are. And the other nice part about it, it comes in this this beautiful walnut case. This is solid walnut, 100%.
Yes.
It has magnetic clasps. So when you get it to a certain point, it snaps it shut.
Yeah, and a fling open.
Right, and no, it doesn't open. It can't open by itself. You have to literally pull it.
Pull it to.
And these are neodymium. We took them out of those fancy speakers and made it into, you know, a case. Yeah, right.
It's strong.
So these are strong magnets, right?
Yes.
So the beautiful thing is they got a little logo on it. Whether you like the logo or not, you can slap a sticker on it if you don't. And once you take these out and use them, the little insert, you could pull that out, and now you have a nice walnut case.
Yeah.
For the people them that might be into the higher grade of things.
Yes.
You can store your higher grade things in there. We're
not load it up. The higher grade
things. We're not going to load up the thing.
What would you do with it once you're done with
right.
it?
You can put jewelry in there. You know, it's just a very nice case. It's solid walnut and it's well made, nice and smooth and pretty. So that's one of our other products that
I like the details. I like the details. Not just flinging out there to make a money.
Right.
You really get, as a sound owner too, you kind of know the insight of what we really want and look for.
Correct. And one thing about me, anytime I do something, man, or if I have my name on something, I always want it to be something with quality.
Yes. And I can see that with a touch of this type of board.
Because I could have made this in some cheap plywood.
Or plastic.
Or plastic and no magnets and whatever. But I decided to spend the more money to make everything that I do with quality. Correct. Everything that I do, I want to put quality behind it because I want to go I want to travel that road consistently. You know what I mean?
Okay. So now, we're going to go down to this now. We were here because we were talking about the Wasi power amplifier because we know by now he make power amplifiers, 4-channel, 2 channels. So I was telling the other day, I said, me and Noah was speaking, we would love to get one of these amplifiers to try and put it through the washer. And really use it and try it and see how good the Wasi product is, which we're going to do. We're going to hook it up 220 safely, but we're going to put it through the rings. We're going to work it. May the fan them come on and go, wee! We're going to use it. But he surprised me. Often, I'm not a surprise person because when it comes to sound system, I'm just a sound system person. But today, we have something here that I love. I love the color of it. There was a time when Crown came out with an amplifier. They were called a certain series. When you see the color, you will know what I'm talking about. And there was a little bit more money to get them. You know what I'm talking about because you repair these amplifiers.
Yeah, I used to look at those.
So people, we have an amplifier. We would say this is the first one, right?
Right.
So we are getting the first one, exclusive look. And the first one that when we finish this interview, we're gonna take it home.
Right.
And now we're going to have a field day with it. But people, when you see this amplifier, it put a smile on my face when I come through the door. I say, yo. And we're gonna get, you know, when you speak to Acid get the exclusive right to do things that the regular interview does not do, or regular sound people don't do. We get we get now the guts of things.
Yeah, I'm going to say something real quick, but not for cut you off.
Go ahead.
But I choose Mariette, Acid, Nadia, and Noah.
Yes.
You understand? Why this thing even happened? Because like I said in the beginning of the interview,
trying to get to this man.
I am always busy.
Yeah, he's always
I never
busy.
sit around.
Yes.
I work 23 hours a day, and you know I see my kids maybe one, and the wife maybe 1 hour a day.
Yes, sir.
And the rest of the time I'm working. You understand? Sir. So I'm in the trenches. We do sound and lighting. We do all of these things. So I'm always generator rental.
Yes.
So I'm always busy. So when I said reach out and tell me, I said, yo, I don't care what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to make the time to do it. You understand? Back over to you, bro.
Yeah, so people, so as you can see, when we say we represent, me and my family represent sound culture, we represent it very deep. It's not just a surface. It's not just we like this person, so we show them the most. No, we just sound system. That's it. So now I'm about to present to you for the very first time on here an amplifier. Listen carefully. Which we're gonna get to take home, and we're going to try to we're gonna hook it up nicely, but we're gonna get to play many different things on it and work the crap out of it and see what it does and how it sounds, how it all up when we finish with it. So for the very first time, Wasi, I have you do the honors of removing the covers, let the public see what you have.
When I just take off the cover like that, you know, we got the drum roll.
There you go, people.
All right. So this is the latest creation.
Yes.
Right? And before I get too involved in this, I just want to go ahead and kind of address some simple things where, you know, basically I don't really go back and forth with people. I really go into details with anything negative or whatever.
Yes.
But as soon as anything I start, it's always this, oh yeah, it's the same as this, the same as that. Right? So there's a lot of arguments I could post.
Yes.
To kill those arguments, but I just don't really bother putting the energy into
Keep
it,
up
right?
with that.
For instance, if you got a K10 and you got a K20 and you tell somebody, okay, a K10 and a K20 sitting in front of you, since, Wasi is the same as this and da-da-da-da-da, tell me what the difference is between those two amps.
Yes.
They can't tell you.
Yes.
Right? Because on the outside, the K20 and the K10 look identical.
Identical.
Aside from a sticker.
Same shell.
So, but they still say K20, K10. They're different amplifiers.
Yes.
So why is the K20 playing so much harder than the K10?
Exactly.
If you ask them that, they can't explain it. Oh, well, I mean, it just have more transistor or it's just more powerful. So the argument and the point that I'm trying to make is people like to talk, right? But talking is just air unless you're coming with information. You see what I'm saying?
Information is power.
Right. Information is power. So that's why, I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion and so on and so forth. Yes. And the reason why I'm just saying is I'm just trying to clear the air with certain things because you already know what's going to be said. Oh, it's the same as a power soft. It's the same as this and that.
Yes.
So I worked for Motorola for 15 years. I've been doing things for many years. I've been fixing things for many years.
Yes.
I would hope along those years of doing electronics, I would learn something. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what I learn, I apply it. So that's basically so that's basically what we're doing here. Yes. So this right here is the latest iteration.
Give us a model number, man.
This one is going to be W8800. I have some little green stickers over it because I wasn't sure about what I'm going to finalize.
What you're going to finalize. Yeah, it's so exclusive. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be the W8800. You can see the Wasi logo right here.
Yes.
Another thing that I took into account, some people had an issue or, a problem with the amplifier saying Wasi, right? Wasi is not me. That's the name of the company. You see what I'm saying? You got to differentiate the two.
Yes.
That's not me. It's the company's name.
The product.
Right, the product name. And if you want to know what Wasi stands for, it's Willing and Able Service Interface.
Repeat that again.
Willing and Able Service Interface. Wasi. That's what it stands for. That's what a company name stands for, right? It's an acronym.
So Wasi is not on your birth certificate.
Exactly. And
I love the way you did that.
And for who may be curious, my real name is Rohan. Rohan. Not real Jamaican name. Yeah. So it's not Wasi. So Wasi is the company, right? So for the people that, boy, we don't want the app because it have the name on the app. That's not my name.
No.
All right. So moving right along. Like I said, this is the latest iteration of the power amplifier family.
Yes.
Different color, different light scheme.
I love the color.
I love it, man. It's
the
nice.
Rose gold. I love it.
It's different. Yeah.
I love it. It's a premium.
Right. Look. Right.
What I want you to do for the audience, I want you to break down this amplifier is new on the block.
Right.
I want you to break down the channel. Break down one channel, because if you break down one channel for the audience, they're going to know what every channel does.
Right.
I want you to break it down, and then we're going to go to the inside.
Okay.
We are going to get to see the inside. Not just something lock up and say, oh, it is this.
Right.
He's the man that can build an amplifier, fix an amplifier. So he's going to break down what give him the power for this amplifier and how this amplifier were built from the ground up. He's not just somebody that say, oh, I'm going to sell some amplifier and this is what it is and it's a good product. No, he's going to break it down. So before you break it down, we want to go to 2 ohms, 8 ohms, 4 ohms. And if the amps go lower than that, let us know.
Right.
So I want you to break down channel. This is channel number 8.
Yeah. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to just give you the high level view of what the amplifier can do, right?
Yes.
I'm going to give it a maximum output, right? That bell is when somebody moves.
Yes.
Kind of ring. Yeah. But what the amplifier does, I'm just going to give it a maximum spec because, that's what people always want to hear.
The specs.
If you say,
yes.
How much power does the amplifier have? You never really hear anybody say how much power does it have at 8 ohms.
At 8 ohms.
They always say what? Wait, do at 2 ohms.
2 ohms, yes.
Is it 2 ohms stable?
Yeah, or is it bridgeable?
Right. So that's what we're going to discuss. At 2 ohms,
yes,
you're getting 8,000 watts, real watts per channel.
Not outbursts.
No, not no burst
Continuous.
watts. Continuous. You'll
How much watts?
8,000. Continuous.
At what ohms?
2 ohms. 2 ohms.
At 2 ohms?
At 2 ohms.
8,000?
So we're only going to discuss 2. Yeah, so we'll only discuss 2 ohms because that's what everybody always want to hear.
Okay.
So 4 ohms is also more recommended as far as an industry standard. Everyone knows that, you know, most amplifiers you play at 4 ohms.
Yes.
Because you want to have more headroom, so on and so forth. This is set up to be able to give you the headroom at 2 ohms, but industry standard is 4 ohms, and it's always recommended to play your amplifiers at 4 ohms. So that, with that being said,
yes,
you're getting 8,000 watts out of each channel, right?
Wow.
That's not really the the maximum spec.
Yes.
But we'll just say that that's what the maximum spec is.
Yes.
Right? I'm sure you'll be impressed once you hear the amp and you play the amp.
Yeah, we're going to put it. Yeah. We're going to use it.
You'll be surprised at what it actually does. Right?
Yes.
Another thing that I did a little differently than the other one, the 4400, which is a smaller unit that, you know, a lot of you guys have purchased and are familiar with.
The smaller 4-channel one.
Smaller 4-channel,
But this
correct.
is the big dog to that one.
Yeah. That's the big one with the lights and all the stuff that you guys said you like. Because I did a lot of market research and listened to a lot of people, and they said, you know, going forward, we like the lights and this and that.
It tells you what the amps is doing.
Correct. So I integrated that in this amplifier here. So at a glance, you can see what's going on. But the thing that I did differently is the first light is not a VU light anymore, where it's telling you the output. The first light is an actual input light.
The last one here.
The signal.
This is going to be the signal light.
Right.
And then once these start moving, this is the actual working of the amplifier.
Right. So basically what it'll do is it'll allow you to see the input signal, how hot your input signal is, and then your VU meter is above it.
Yes.
So now you got a quick visual indicator what's going on with the amp.
Yes.
So you don't just see the VU clipping going way up.
Yes.
You can actually see that you're giving it too hot of a signal.
So you know,
and be able to adjust your signals and let the actual VU meter play properly. So that's one of the things that I did a little differently. I'll turn it on now so you can see the light scheme.
Wow, you have it hooked up. What?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
So that's the light scheme that it displays. And as with the other, you know, you turn it up, you get the actual LED indicators
show you where you're
telling you where you are as far as your level setting.
Level settings, yes.
So that's basically, in a nutshell, what your front display is giving you, and what the actual performance is of the amplifier at 2 ohms. All right, so now we're going to turn it off.
Yes.
And we'll remove the cover.
All right, hold on.
Would you like to remove the cover?
Yes, because often you get to see amplifier, and as a man who owns a sound system,
right?
People, you see a lot of amps that people are sell, but you never get to see. Only time you get to see the makers of the amplifiers is when they come to a show,
right?
And they display something.
Yeah.
But the reason for me, like I tell many people before we open the cover, I will buy an amplifier from you moving further if I didn't have what I have now. Because the reason for that, you're here.
Right.
I'm not sending a part overseas to come back or go back and forth with anybody, and you're going to warranty your amplifier. Do you warranty your amplifiers?
Yeah, 3 years. Everything that I touch is 3-year warranty.
So this amp, once I purchase this from you, it's 3-year warranty on this amplifier.
Yeah.
People see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I'm...
So then take this into account too. The reason why I try to make the amp so rock solid and bulletproof is because I don't want to be fixing no amps.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Your name is on the line.
If I'm giving you 3 years,
yes,
I definitely don't want to be putting out no crap, because all I'm gonna do is just have a revolving door. Amp goes out, amp comes back.
In.
Amp goes out, amp come back. So I make sure to do everything I can to make sure the units are rock solid.
Yes.
And as far as that's concerned, I'm very public. Everyone knows me. I'm all over the internet, so on and so forth, right?
Yes.
So if I was selling a crappy product, everybody would know.
By now.
Yes. You understand? Everybody would know.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So that's just one thing I wanted to kind of put in there to kind of give anyone that may be on the fence, give them a little ease that, you know, I'm not a person that's going to sell you something and disappear.
No, we know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
I'm a brick and mortar location too.
Because even the 4-channel amp that before this one, we bought that from you, and FedEx or one of them, whosoever you
FedEx,
use,
them dash.
They break up.
They
I can tell it from my experience now because I know him. They break the amplifier and he send me a brand new one. He say, "Yo, I want to make sure your amps is good. Here you go." So on that professional level, I endorse the Wasi amplifiers.
And you didn't have to return the amp.
There you go. Yeah. I kept that one.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm gonna set it back. Well, you're good."
Yeah.
But listen now, people. So I'm getting exclusive rights to an amplifier that is exclusive right now. The first time seeing it. We're going to open it and we're going to talk to Wasi about it. We're going to dissect and let you guys know. On this channel, we like to teach and we like to do homework. So for people that's watching, I want everybody to pay attention to what's going on. What this man is gonna say, once this amplifier lift up, you have the remote, have it pampas, rewind it, listen carefully. I'm gonna remove the cover.
All right.
Brand spanking new. You ready? Here we go. Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nicely done. So, as a sound man, I'm gonna ask you a sound man question.
Right.
We see these amplifier. Sometimes we have to open it to clean it to do certain things. Just blow the dust out, whatever. Right now it's hot, so I'm not gonna put my hand in there.
I was about to say,
that's the first rule.
Right.
So, when you see these amplifier nowadays, we see the caps, we see the heat sink. The right name I'm using, right?
Right, correct.
The heat sink is here.
Right.
Man, I love the way how you detail stuff, man. Normally, the heat sink will be black.
Right. So we're using a different alloy.
Yes.
So it's a very high efficiency heatsink. In other words, the thermal dissipation on this is better than the ones that are typically used. And to put that in layman's terms,
yes,
the heat that's created by the transistors
on here,
you're right, it's quickly drawn away and taken out of the amp.
Wow.
So it allows the actual transistors to work a little harder without hitting a thermal state that may
heat section.
Right, may negatively affect the transistors. And if you notice the amount of transistors we're using
on each bracket,
on each
heat sink, they're not scattered all over the place.
Right, you don't have them staggered or whatever.
Yes.
And there's a lot of thought in the actual components that are being utilized. You may see the heatsink covers. I mean the transistor covers or the hold downs here, but underneath there, there's certain transistors that are implemented for a particular reason. Yes, and you hear the results in the actual performance of the amplifier.
Yes, so it's not just a regular transistor sitting behind these and a heat sink.
Not
so
at all.
that also make up the DNA of an amplifier.
Correct.
How does it sound?
Correct.
And how does it, the stability of it. So let me ask you a question. This will cost you, if I was a builder of an amplifier like this, right?
Right.
I would have just go with the black ones.
Right.
I want to ask you why you go with these ones, because they cool more faster.
Yeah, they're more thermally efficient.
I know you have to spend a little bit more money on it.
And that goes back to that saying, that Q word that I used earlier, which is quality, right? Everything that I do, I try to do it with quality because I know my name is connected to it, right? So for instance, these heat sinks, I could have went the cheap route and got the cheap,
the black ones.
Because they're common and they're made by the thousands
cheaply.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
So I opted to go with a different type of heat sink that the alloy is just more, it's got a better heat coefficient to actually pull the heat away from the transistors to make the amplifier run cooler and operate, in a more stable fashion. Right?
Yes.
Because you know how it is. We're going into summer right now. Some of these amps, they're out there. Yeah. And
out there in the heat.
In Florida, it's hot.
Very hot.
You know what I mean? So I decided to employ certain components. And even if you look at the thermal isolator, right? Which is that green piece right here.
Thermal isolator
right here, which is basically, for the actual transistors. It's a insulator between the heatsink and the transistors.
Yes.
If you look at the color of it, those that are familiar with PowerSoft, that's the same type of isolator they use.
Wow. Yes.
That same green isolator.
I recognize.
Yeah, you'll see it in the PowerSoft output.
Yes.
So I didn't skimp on quality and performance. And the transformers are a little different. I'm using things from different parts of the world.
Yes.
Where they're known for making a better style or type of product, right?
Yes.
And so, that's all been implemented in this.
Now the question I want to ask you as a sound person who will be on YouTube all over the world watching this right now.
Right.
This amplifier right here, will it play anywhere in the world?
Anywhere in the world. It has a universal power supply, and you could play it anywhere from 90 volts to 270, 50 cycles or 60 cycles. It'll play everywhere, everything.
Please repeat that. I want you to slow it down when you say it, because as a sound man, like I say, I don't get to do this often, to dig into the belly of the amplifier.
Right.
So this amplifier, Wasi's letting you guys know that. Break it down again, the numbers.
Yeah, so as far as the power supply is concerned, you can connect it to anywhere from 90 volts AC to 270 volts AC, and it'll play perfectly fine. Now, there is a caveat to that statement.
Yes.
If you want to max out the amp and really drive it to its maximum potential,
yes,
it must be in 220.
Say it again. Say it again.
If you want to max out the amp and play it to its fullest potential, it must be in 220 volts AC.
Yes.
A lot of manufacturers, they give you a spec and they say, 110 volts to 220. But they never put in there a disclaimer stating that if you want to have the maximum performance
of the amp,
you should run it at 220. That's why when you play a lot of these amplifiers that have the universal power supplies and you're driving the heck out of them and you're playing them on 120, you hear pop, or the amplifier shuts off and dies.
Yes.
Because the amplifier, think about it like this. You're thirsty.
Yes.
You come from outside, you just cut the grass, right? You want a glass of water. Now, would you rather to drink that glass of water through a thick McDonald's straw or a coffee stirrer?
McDonald's straw.
Right. The coffee
bigger.
Right. The coffee stirrer is very small.
Yes.
You're still going to get the water.
Yeah, but slower.
But by the time you trying to pull the water out, your head starts to hurt. Right? I'm using this as an analogy where everybody can understand.
Example.
So right, you're still getting the water.
Yes.
But you pulling it through a coffee stirrer, your veins, everything, your head is exploding because you can't get the water fast enough. Versus a McDonald's straw,
it's bigger.
Everything comes out.
One time.
Same thing with electronics and the flow of electrons.
Yes.
If you have two legs of power, which is 220 volts
each,
you're able to feed the amplifier
the juice it needs.
Exactly what it needs. And the amplifier is happy.
So let me put my adaptation to this for some of my viewers that didn't catch on to what's going on. Basically, you can't plug this amplifier into the wall, into your wall socket. Let me break it down. Into your wall socket of your house. It's gonna power up, yes. But you can't plug this amplifier into the wall and then put 8 speakers on each channel.
Right.
It is gonna shut down.
Correct.
You can't do that. You gotta give it the power. Right. Every good amplifier demands power.
Correct.
To play. So, Wasi, next thing now with this amplifier now. Yo, I love the color, brother.
Yeah.
Love the color. I love the color.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it that.
Yeah.
So I know you say you make some of your products different areas, not in one just place.
Correct.
Because they will take the pattern, the design, and recopy them and just whatever.
Yeah.
What's the purpose for that? Because that's costing you money.
Yeah, it is. But I worked for Motorola, like I said, for 15 years or whatever. So one of the things that I used to do, I used to work on a team that we used to buy companies, bring them into the company.
Yes.
Change the testing.
Yes.
Stamp the brand on there and then sell it at a premium. Right? So one thing I learned from doing that is whenever you have a product and you say, okay, say you have ABC Manufacturing. ABC Manufacturing builds your product from start to finish and gives it to you to sell.
Yes.
They're going to take that product and sell it somewhere else.
Yes.
Because they have everything. So what I do is I may get a board manufactured somewhere else.
Yes.
Or I may have a company manufacture a board.
Yes.
Then I get it into the shop and I change it.
Wow.
That also keeps them chasing, their tail because they think that you're doing exactly, what they gave you is what's going out. But you have to be smart enough to make changes. Otherwise, you won't be one step ahead of the game. So to me, that's critical. Like there's some things in here that may look similar, but they're sourced from a different manufacturer.
And I must find out, as a sound system owner, a lot of people doesn't pay attention to this. I've noticed the heavy duty cable, not just the rubber has been thick. We can look in the amp and see the wire. Thickness. The wires here, the thickness of the wire. That's also just matter.
Yeah, that's the same gauge of a K20.
A lot of people don't know that the gauge wire in an amplifier does matter. It's strong.
Yes, 100%.
Because basically this amplifier is giving you at each channel 8,000 watts, right?
Correct.
So we can't expect to get 8,000 watt out of this amplifier and the signal wire and the power wire look like this right here.
Right.
The power wire can't look like this.
If you would have saw that in there, you would have been like, boy, that guy Wasi full of doodle.
Wasi, yeah. So people, we have a product here. We're going to put it through the ringer.
Right.
We're going to hook it up correctly. Give it the right power, 220.
Right.
We're going to play everything that we think we can play. Afrobeat, you name it, dubstep. We're going to go every level of trying. Top end, bass, mids. We're going to put it through the ringer. And then we're going to come back and let you guys know, hey, this is what it is. This is part 2 of the video. Wasi got some prototype of stuff that he's
working on,
showing us so he could explain what's going on.
Yeah, so we're going to do this quick and simple. You know, a lot of these amps have been sold. I haven't really given an update on quantities or anything yet, but a lot of these amps have been sold.
Yes, I see them a lot.
Yeah, you guys say you love the amplifier, the sonic quality and the clarity and all that, which I give thanks for that. You know what I mean? And thank you for the support. But what I'm doing is there's some people that I notice they buy the amplifier and then when they send me pictures, because they get a lot of pictures from the customers,
yes,
you know, showing me how they're implementing the app and so on and so forth.
Yes.
A lot of times it's not in a rack. Some people are using it in their man cave,
home entertainment
or their
system.
home entertainment system, and they have it sitting on a table or something like that.
Yes.
So what I've decided to do, move some of this stuff out of the way, I've come up with I'm coming out with a case for it. Right? This is a prototype. Don't look at this because this is not even fully
You just put it together for us.
Right. It's just for the video purposes, right? But it's going to have, this is going to be the top of it. Yes. This is 100% walnut. You could hear it, right? This is not no plywood or anything like that, and it's stained beautifully and everything else.
Yes.
The actual logo, you see it's pass through.
Yes, a vent.
So this is going to allow the amplifier to breathe. So this is a vent for the amplifier when it's in the case.
Yes.
And this is how the case is going to look. The other thing that you may want to take note of,
yes,
it's not too deep.
Yes.
Right? Some of these wooden cases, they make them so deep, you're trying to get your hand in there to connect an XLR cable or something, you can't even get in there.
Yes.
So I purposely made the amplifier depth not too deep, so you can see the amp is back there. It's right there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Right? And then also, want to point out, if you do get the rack screws, it's the same walnut that we're using for the actual case. For the screws. So everything matches. You know what I mean? And once again, this is just a prototype. This is not how it looks. Yes. The logo is facing this way in the final.
So the amplifier would breathe through here.
Right. And it would breathe through there. And you have, you know, your screws that you would be able to utilize in here to make it look really pretty if you decide
to do that.
Right. So that's that. So then now we have the beautiful small 4-channel amplifier. It has 4 channels. Yes. So we have now decided to do a small linery. Right? It's very small, very compact. Yes. But extremely loud and clear. Yes. So say you have a man cave and you want something different instead of a regular floor standing speaker or something like that. Correct. You could buy these and actually utilize these in your man cave or in your living room. You could kind of hide them because they're very discreet. Yes. So you can see the size of my hand. Yes. You know, just to kind of give you a reference. I got big hands though, but still, it's not huge.
I'm not cutting you. You also showed me some brackets for it.
Yes. Let me grab those
real quick. That? 2, 3, roll.
All right, so we're back. So this is not just a line array by name. Yes. It is a real line array. You actually get hardware that goes with the units.
Comes with the box.
That comes with the box, right?
Yes.
So I think what I'm going to do, I may sell them as a set of 4. Yes. And then each channel of the amp will play a box.
Each one of those.
Each one of those, right?
Beautiful.
Right. So these things come with it. So it's not just a line array by name. It is an actual line array, right? Yes. The other thing that I want to point out, the box is not very light.
Yeah, I like the quality because I picked it up earlier. I said, wow.
Going right back to that Q word again, man. This is a quality box. This is actually birch.
Wow.
This is birch wood.
It went all out, man.
Right. You see the hardware, how it's recessed? Yes. It's flush. It's not sticking out or anything like that. Yes. Right? You have your Nutrix under here. I have some things covered up that I'm trying to keep secret. You already know. But you see, you have all your hardware is very clean. It's very recessed.
So this is the actual back of the unit.
That's the back of the unit, then the side.
So once the unit comes out, there will be, we get to see what's here and what's going on. But for now, these are the prototypes.
Right. So this is a very solid quality line array, but just on a very small scale.
Yes.
Right?
Nice.
All right. So that's that. So then the very last item that we have, I'm not even going to tell you guys what it is. It's going to be like something where the viewers...
People, you want to see this?
We'll have to try to figure it out.
Yes. This is the part you want to pay attention to. Please.
This is something coming soon.
Yes.
Should I give them any information?
No. When you explained it to me, I said, wow. So, all right, people. I'm going to give them from my sound man a view, and then you take it from there.
Okay.
So, often if you got an amplifier that's 4 ohms, and it could only go along to certain things, this unit that is going to come out is going to be a 1-space unit. And let me not take away his presentation.
Right.
Go ahead, Wasi.
So right now, the reason why this is not really
I'm excited.
finalized is because I'm still working on the patents. Oh, there is one more product.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still working on the patents for certain things. But this unit, you see it's kind of slim.
Yes.
It's set up in a way where it could fit in one rack space, right?
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
much. But if you have an amplifier, say you have an amplifier and your amplifier only goes down to 4 ohms or 2 ohms, but you want to hook up more speakers, you could put your 4 ohm load, which is this here,
yes,
on the output of the amplifier.
Yes.
But on the other side, you have taps where you could go all the way down to 0.5 ohms.
0.5 ohms.
So your 4 ohm your amplifier will only see 4 ohms
on that hand.
On the
but
primary.
When it comes out.
But when it comes out, you could actually load it down to 0.5 ohms.
Wow.
So this is something that I'm working on. The patent stuff is being worked on.
Yes.
So this is going to be another product, and it's very heavy. It's not very heavy, but it's not light.
Well built.
Yeah, well built.
Put together.
Very solid.
Yes. So for the people who have a 4 ohms amplifier, you could put actually with that added to the amplifier, you could put more speakers.
Many more speakers, right?
On your 4 ohms amplifier.
Right. And see what I mean by it's not light?
Yo.
See that? This is solid.
Solid.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's something that we're having in the patent.
So people will get an exclusive, you know.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna see this every day.
Nah, man, and
pay attention to details when he speaks.
Can't get this. You know what I mean? Well, what am I do with the
Thank you, sir.
Like a template. I mean, not a template, look ice.
All right, people. So we're back with another product. For me as a sound man, that sometimes you buy these expensive things and you want to resell them back. And me personally, I don't like no scratch or no dent on my amplifier. Wasi got something here that I think is going to be good for the market and for the resale of people who want to resell their stuff. So Wasi, explain.
Yeah, man. So we're back. All right. So this is the last product for the day, right?
Yes.
So as you can see, this is a Wasi amp. This is a demo amp. We send these to like clubs and churches and whatever, and let them use it before they actually make purchases, right?
Yes.
You can see all the scratching and the marring on the metal.
Yes.
So this is something that instantly takes the value away from your product.
If you're trying to resell it,
if you're trying to resell it,
say, yo, that scratch up how much money.
And even if you just care about your products, you don't want your stuff all scratched up.
Yes.
So say for instance, you have an expensive amplifier like an X4L or whatever, and the value is there, but then now when you go to resell it, deciding you don't want to
scratch up and dig up and look like
the first thing the prospective buyer is going to do is
devalue the amplifier.
He's going to devalue it because he's going to make note of the fact that it's all scratched up and whatever.
Yeah.
So this product here is a special composite. It doesn't melt in the sun or anything like that. It doesn't warp or deform.
Yes.
And you can literally take a nail and try to drive it through it. It'll be kind of hard to get the nail to drive through it.
Yes.
This is something you're going to be able to put on top of every amplifier.
Yes.
So when you take another amp and put on top of it, it's not going to scratch it up.
Nice.
Right? So this will keep your amplifier safe and actually keep the value of your amplifier. Something that some of you guys may be considering is if you put a lot of these in the amp rack, will it adjust the screw points? No.
Everything shift the
right,
length
shift everything, right. You can put as many as you want. The actual thickness of this is actually within the space, the space gap for each
amplifiers.
Screw. Right.
Yeah.
So basically each amplifier has a certain amount of tolerance, and this is within the tolerance, within the tolerance gap. So it won't affect your rack fill, right?
So explain to me. If I need to I'm watching this and I need to get a couple of these for my expensive amplifier, because I put amplifier on top of each one and put it in a rack for me, right?
Right.
Where do I go to purchase this that you have here?
I'm glad you asked.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Right now it's actually on the website, wasient.com. That's WASIENT.com.
Yes.
We're selling them in, I think it's 3 for like $150 or something like that.
Yes.
They have the logo on there. I don't know if you can see this, but the logo is right here.
Yeah, I can see it.
Right. So this is stamped. Yeah, this is stamped into the actual product itself.
Yes.
It comes with this kind of space age type of double-sided tape.
Yes.
Where it could be removed if you needed to, but once you put that on there,
it stays
right there. It down, it doesn't allow it to move.
Yes.
And then what this does, it just presses out. It flattens all the way
all the way down into it.
Right.
Bring it down to size.
Correct. So this doesn't have any impact on your spacing when you put the other amplifiers on there.
Once the load catches it, it
just it flattens out, and it's in the back anyway, so it doesn't affect what's going on in the front with the screws. So this is something right here that's actually patented.
Yes.
Right? We have a patent on this. It was a lot of money spent to get this thing patented.
You can't scam it, brother. You can't scam it. You can't cut out a piece of cardboard and you do the same
exactly.
thing.
It's not the same. So the material, everything, I mean, even on the website, you can see some of the drawings for it.
Yes.
But it's not the full drawings, but it's already patented in the United States PTO, USPTO patent office.
I love that.
So this is something that is not a fly-by-night thing. It's
you
something
can't go order it over that place there.
Yeah.
20 of them. Yeah.
Right. So, that's kind of how we're doing things. We're doing it professionally and trying to do it the right way.
Yes.
So that item right there pretty much wraps up what we have going on today.
So people, that's part 2 of this video here. And we get to get some exclusive things with Wasi here. And Wasi, you can sign out the channel and, Yeah,
man. Once again, big up the Acid family. You understand? Thank them for coming out and supporting the Wasi brand. And like I said, this is an exclusive that they could get, right? Because I had to clear my schedule and make time for them. But with this family right here, them different, them special. You understand? So we'll make it happen. I'll make sure someone go buy on a shirt. Translation. Make sure you buy your Acid shirts to support the sound culture.
Yes.
Wasi over and out. Peace.
Thank you, Wasi.
Yeah, man.